576-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
To a tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land. Oh, welcome in to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness, it's
Captain Cool. Someone lose a grenade. Oh yeah. Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_Sports. And while you're at it, go and find us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV for more than just sports talk. These guys were busting me up because I was moving the camera right before the show started. I want consistency, okay? Tom's moving the camera all over the place. I want the camera right here looking at me. I don't know if it's perfect. I'll adjust it later, but I want you guys to know. It may not be my best side, but I just think it looks the best being here because over here, it's looking straight on to me, and whenever I'm looking at Bandi over there across the glass, I look like an idiot. I look like I'm just staring off into space like nothing, okay? That's how it looks, okay? Either way, you guys can find us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV. And if you want to call in or change the conversation today, create an audible, 256-576-4977 is the number you got to call. And if you forget it throughout the show, if you're watching on the stream, it'll be right above my head. And that'll be great for you guys to keep up with it. There you go. This first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. Have roofing problems? Look them up online and fill out your free quote. Remember, Fleming always shows up. You're live hanging with the chillest crew of two in sports across the glass. The one, the only, Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
What is going on, Captain Cool?
The Bandi's back. Let me see something real quick.
What's up?
Nope. Okay, that one doesn't work. All right, don't worry about that. All right, I'll surprise you later. Don't worry.
It's pod number 5.
Is it pod number 5 for this one? What was I getting?
Are you plugging it in?
I was playing it from this computer right here.
That's pod number 8.
That's pod number 8. Okay, so I was playing it from that one. Let me see if I can do it again. Bandi, you'll get a nice little kick out of this. It's still not playing. Maybe I don't know. Something's up with it. I'll do it later. Don't worry about it, Bandi.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll play it later. Bandi, how are you doing today? And how does it feel, my dude, to be a college graduate officially?
It feels good. I will say now that's finally officially done, because like I was doing classes in the summer.
Yeah, I know.
I've been done for a while, but now that like we've gone through the walk, the ceremony's over. I finally got the fake diploma that they give you at the ceremony.
Yeah.
Like, it feels good. It's like a weight's been lifted off.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know exactly how you feel because I sadly didn't get to come and see you graduate, which, again, it really sucked not being able to. But again, we got to do a job. Somebody's got to hold down the fort, and thankfully Chad was able to kind of do a good job in, taking your place. But, nobody's like you, Bandi. You're just a different breed. And whenever it came down to the play-by-play, let me tell you, my stories were just the most bare ones ever. I talked a little Call of Duty. Shipment's coming back, just in case you missed it, which I doubt you did. Mr. Beast is coming to Fortnite.
Yeah, I saw that announcement come across my Twitter feed.
Yeah, and then obviously High on Life came out yesterday, and we talked a little bit about that. Not too in-depth, because I still have yet to play it, okay? It was still downloading. But for you, Mr. Bandi, man, I wanted to play this little song.
Poppin' Circumstance?
This is what I was going to play at the beginning, okay? I love how you know what the name is, because I had no idea what the name of this song was.
I only found out from my sister.
Okay.
Who told my niece the name of the song.
Oh.
While we were at lunch.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea either beforehand. I didn't know it was called Pomp and Circumstance.
Man, Pomp and Circumstance is a bop. I'll tell you that.
It's a bop.
Wait. That's my favorite part right there. I have no idea. Either way, it's going to be a very fun show. We're two graduated boys, and we're ready to bring you guys all of the news across sports and gaming. And we want to just say thank you for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday. By the way, before we get into this craziness, tomorrow, me and Bandi, on the edge of our seats, we're going to be at Flow for the Christmas party, fan meetup, whatever you want to say. We're going to be celebrating by getting as many toys as we can, put it in the Rambo Marine boat. Do I still got this playing? Do I still got the pomp and circumstance playing? Okay, I do. It was just playing in the background. And it's going to be amazing. It's all presented by Talent Heating and Air. And we're going to have a bunch of other, great sponsors coming in, taking a little visit, having a little fun. And it's just going to be so amazing. Bandi, we're going to play some basketball. We're going to play some putt-putt. We're going to be jumping on a trampoline. It's amazing. So bring out your family. Bring out your kids. If you are bringing a family and you want everybody to get in, just bring a few presents. You don't got to bring a present for each one of them. Just a few. That's more than enough to get you in. And you got a nice little day to hang out, have fun with us, and just jump on trampolines or play whatever you want to do. Because let me tell you, Flow Trampoline Park is the place to be on a Wednesday.
Exactly. I mean, the doors. Looks like the party's going to be getting started from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And be sure, because we'll also be doing a live broadcast of The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton.
Oh yeah.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone from Flow tomorrow as well. So if you want to see a show in person,
yeah,
go for it.
It's gonna
show
be,
up
it's gonna
with
be
a
awesome.
toy.
It's gonna be our second official remote for the Blitz boys, and I'll say this, Bandi, okay, we're gonna have the camera out there too. It's gonna be such a different change of scenery, because I mean, we're gonna be sitting next to each other, of course. We've done that before, it was at Landers McClarty Chevrolet and stuff, so that was very nice. But I mean, this one, it's finally, is it okay? Is it going to be on 97.7?
It'll be on the Blitz.
It's going to be on the Blitz. Okay.
It'll be our first Blitz remote.
It's going to be our first Blitz remote. So it's going to be all Blitz-related stuff. And everybody who's listening to this show, all you got to do is listen in tomorrow at this exact same place, on the exact same app, or on the same stream. And you guys will be seeing us. So nothing's really changing with that. But if you do want to meet us in person, come on down. Don't be weird. Just say, "What's up, guys?" And I'll just be like, "Hey." I don't know. Look, it's going to be fun. That's all I'm saying.
I'll be like, you trying to run threes?
Yeah.
3-on-3?
I mean, I'll be on your team. I know you're pretty good at basketball, so I'll hop on your team. You know the fundamentals, at least. I haven't seen you actually play, but I know you know the fundamentals.
You are not in for a treat. I don't know how well I can play now.
Either way, I don't care. It's going to be fun.
It's been a while since high school.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have all the boys out there, though, and it's going to be a great time, to say the least. Bandi, real quick question, okay?
What's up?
I got to ask these just like every once in a while. On what is your biggest, I would say it's not pet peeve, but it's a minor inconvenience. What's your least favorite minor inconvenience?
Least favorite minor inconvenience.
I could give you an example if you want that real quick before you go.
I mean, if you already got it on your mind, go for it.
I got a few, okay? But I'm going to name just like one or two of them, okay? One of them, hangnail. Hate them. But it's a minor inconvenience. It's something you can kind of get dealt with, as soon as you're done, just clip them off or something like that. Still, you can kind of cut your skin. Second one, whenever I forget something in the house and I'm like in my car already, or like already driving down the street, I'm like, oh, I forgot my keys.
Yep.
Get it? Because I'm driving my car already. But like, what do you think? What are your, what's your least favorite inconvenience, like minor inconvenience?
I mean, I can relate to a hangnail and like forgetting the stuff into your car, because
Yeah.
I've gone out several times where it's like, man, it's like hop in my car, turn on everything, pull out. Crap, I forgot my drink.
Yeah.
I just left it on the counter.
Yeah.
That's like half my breakfast.
Yeah, there you go. Is that your main one? What's a new one? You just
You
throw
know
one
what?
at me.
I'll tell you a commentary one.
Okay.
One of my commentary pet peeves is when multiple people on the same team have the same last name.
Oh.
Or something very similar.
Yeah. It's minor.
Because, I mean, the best thing to do is really, if you're trying to keep pace with the action, is to really go by last name.
Yeah.
Either go by number or last name. If you got multiple last names, it makes that a little tough to kind of decipher what's going on.
Yeah. It's one of those pet peeves you can't change, though. I mean, it's just something that happens. I mean, it's in somebody else's control. I'd say another one's like hitting your shin or like slightly falling down the stairs, maybe banging your like toe against the wall or something like that. Another inconvenience would be whenever I open this Yeti cup right here, it always shoots out water. Because it's got, I don't know, the pressure that builds up inside of it. It's weird. I don't know. Either way, we got to get into the conversation now. Today is December 13th, 2022, and here's what you need to know in the Blitz today. Earlier in last night's matchup on Monday Night Football between the Cardinals and the Patriots, Kyler Murray, in typical Kyler Murray fashion, went right with the ball, running around, managed to extend the play a little bit and hopefully pick up a first down. And, while he was doing that, mid-play, something went wrong. He hit the ground. It was a non-contact injury, and there's a lot of speculation going on. Is it an ACL injury? And yes, it is. So he will be out for the rest of this season. It's sad. It sucks to hear, but I mean, it's just something that happens in sports. And you know what's surprising? It didn't even happen on a turf field. It happened on a normal grass field. So this type of stuff can happen on a lot. But in a way, grass, I've seen it save some people's legs before because that turf ain't forgiven when you get your legs stuck under somebody and it's going to slide out. That grass, on the other hand, will rip apart, whereas the turf is all kind of little plastic pieces which will stick you into the ground. So, hey, you know what? ACL injuries, probably not going anywhere, but Kyler Murray, we hope you the best getting better because this is going to be a long journey to get back where you need to be. And we might expect a different type of Kyler Murray next year. I mean, this man's already 25, and he's coming off of a massive $230 million contract for 5 years. So this is going to probably sideline him for the rest of this year, of course, and probably some into next year. But, again, we hope he can get back on the field because, say what you will. The guy's got a little bit of a talent, okay?
Yeah,
either way.
just a little bit.
And then yet another QB has entered the transfer portal in a pretty surprising manner with Coastal Carolina's faithful Grayson McCall. However, unlike most of the players who are transferring, McCall plans to play in his bowl game, respect to him, and it's going to be against East Carolina to finish out his spectacular Chanticleer? Is that what the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers?
Chanticleers.
Yeah, I remember Crawdad from Countdown to Kickoff. He told us that, so that was a little cool. The Chanticleers campaign, he had a great time with this team. But in McCall's many starts throughout the years, his record is 28-4 with a couple Sun Belt championships under his belt. So we'll be keeping an eye on where this young quarterback is going to be headed, and maybe he'll have a chance to play with the big boys now. I mean, he's getting out of the Sun Belt. You get maybe get a good little offer from an SEC school, possibly an ACC school, maybe even like Pac-12. I mean, now you're rocking and rolling. You're moving up in the draft projections. I mean, this guy's good. I want to see what he can do in the bigger leagues when it comes to the college football world.
We also got a little bit of a World Cup update because, I mean, Argentina and Croatia are going through their semifinal match right now. And Argentina's up 2-0 in the 54th minute. So I imagine they're probably going to run away with it and go on to the World Cup final.
Why isn't it on the TV? That's all I really need. I'm just asking. It's just I got infomercials right now going, okay? I don't need a $400 pan set right now. Yeah. Cookware set. Well, I might need it soon, but either way.
I imagine this might settle the debate, though, between who's better, Messi or Ronaldo.
Messi. I'm all Messi.
Yeah, because, I mean, who's still in the tournament?
Messi. Exactly.
Messi.
And then the return of Cole Beasley is a go as he jumps back on with the Buffalo Bills on a short-term contract after retiring 2 weeks into the 2022 season as he played for the Buccaneers. Now, this adds on to the Odell Beckham story as OBJ met with the Bills. So, that spot might be filled now, OBJ. And same with the Cowboys with the signing of T.Y. Hilton. So, I mean, where's it going to go for OBJ? I mean, this guy's pretty much just in the middle.
I imagine probably nowhere.
I don't know if he's going to go anywhere this season. I mean, he was talking like, hey, thank you, Chad, by the way. Argentina's up 2-0 right now. Very nice. I don't really imagine him going to any team this season. I don't know if the Cowboys would need another wide receiver just for the playoffs. I mean, getting T.Y. Hilton, maybe, former, shadow of himself, but at the same time, hey, he's a reliable guy at times, and maybe he'll push through with this good old Cowboys organization. Yeah. Get him a nice little Super Bowl. You don't need OBJ, okay? I don't want to say that though. I don't want to be like, hey, slander on this guy. He's a good player. He's got a big ego. Hopefully he can figure it out, and he can actually play during the regular season as well, Bandi. And then the updates for Chris Beard's third-degree assault have been dropped for us in many forms with new information from the victim about what actually happened on Monday morning. Turns out he allegedly choked, bit, and scratched his victim, leaving visible damage after the fact. Monday evening, UT posted a statement, quote, "Given the information available, the university has suspended Chris Beard from his position as head coach of men's basketball and will withhold his pay until further notice. Associate head coach Rodney Terry will serve as acting head coach for tonight's game against Rice. That was yesterday's deal. They played Rice already, and we'll be continuing to bring you guys all the information on this story. And then later on in the show, the Bandi Man is back to give all the details in the world of gaming, from what you may get from getting League of Legends on Game Pass, to Overwatch having yet another balance patch, to a balance out another balance patch. There's a lot of balances, a lot of patches going on. It just looks like an inflatable that just got a lot of holes in it from a bad weekend with the kids. And then, some more console wars stories, of course. That's all coming your way at 3:30 on the E-Play-by-Play. And we all know, everybody's heard it now. It brings us very much sadness, but Mike Leach has passed away, former Mississippi State head coach. And let me just say, guys, I didn't know much about him before this season started. Like, I knew a little bit about him. I knew he coached and all that stuff. But really going to SEC Media Days this year and kind of getting to really, introduce myself to him and kind of learn a little bit more about him, and hearing the way that he talks. And me and Chad talked about this yesterday, okay? And we were talking about, like how he says a lot of random stuff, but it all means something in the end, If you could get past what he's saying, because I will say, monotone puts me to sleep. But he's also hilarious, man, and he knew exactly what he was doing. But it's terrible to see what happened. It's just a sad sight, sad thing for football. And this man changed a lot of things. So everybody's gonna be a little sad today in that way. But you know what? Our thoughts will go out to his family and friends. Rest in peace to a great. I will say that.
Yeah, there was an ESPN article I read a little earlier today that really described Coach Leach well, which was, just an innovator. Creating and implementing the air raid style offense and making it his own, playing football his way the entire time he coached, and being, I would say, probably one of the most genuine people out there. I
gotta agree with you right there. I feel like he's one of those dudes that I could really just go up to, a coach, somebody I look up to, and I could be like, hey, I got this going on in my life. I was wondering if I could talk to you for a little bit about it. And I feel like he'd do a great job just making me laugh and making me understand, there's bigger things in life,
Yeah, there wasn't a Coach Mike Leach and then another Mike Leach.
No.
Off the field. He was just Mike Leach.
Yeah.
And he was just that guy. He was hilarious, great coach, and a good guy.
Yeah, I got to say, the character that he brought to the game, it was literally it brought kind of a soap opera-ness to it, with him being such a unique guy in the way that he was. I gotta say, he was probably the most interesting SEC coach in a long time. I love Nick Saban, don't get me wrong, but Mike Leach, the way that he just went about everything that he did was just spectacular. So again, rest in peace to a great. And outside of that, we're gonna just go through this show and have a great time in honor of him. And we got a lot coming up, okay? Bandi, who's the guest today, and when are we going to be talking to him? Because I'm looking forward to every little bit of this conversation.
We got an unbiased Wilborn from AL.com going to be with us at 3 o'clock to talk Auburn football, the hiring of Hugh Freeze, and what's going to be going on with the program moving forward, as well as Auburn basketball going down to Memphis the other night, who Alabama plays tonight.
Oh.
So see what he thinks of that Memphis team and that matchup as a whole as well.
All right, very sick. And then later on in the show, during the cool segment, we'll have the NFL recap from Week 14. We have a lot of insane games to go to. I'm telling you guys, we got a lot of great games to go into. And then obviously later on in the show at 3:30, the E-Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man. Guys, we're going to hop into a break, but when we come back, the cool segment with Captain Cool and the NFL replay. You guys don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Wednesday, December 14th from 4 to 8 p.m., 97.7 ESPN The Zone is bringing back our annual Listener Christmas Party presented by Talent Heating and Air and catered by Bubby's Diner. You and your family are invited to join us at Flow Trampoline Park on Drake Avenue for all the fun, including a live radio broadcast, mini putt-putt contest for great prizes, and more. Your admission is an unwrapped toy for boys and girls to help build the Rambo Marine Malibu Wake Boat. That's Wednesday, December 14th from 4 to 8 p.m. at Flow Trampoline Park.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have the state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise in a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats. The Blitz has been called.
First of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that. I'm going to say the Wildcat's out. The Trojan, does he have a horse or is he on foot? Does he have a bow and arrow or just his sword? The Bruin, definitely formidable. Another bear up there at Cal. The tree, I imagine that tree's going to get chopped down. Unless we're going to go with a bird and somebody might get pecked or something, I don't know. The duck might lose interest and just fly away and get out of there, which may be good advice under the circumstances. The husky, no chance. The beaver, we'll see how long that beaver can hold his breath. The ute, again, we're back to, is he on horseback? Does he have a bow and arrow? Did he trade for a rifle? I mean, because if that ute's got a rifle, there's some definite problems. You'd have to get one of those Harry Potter activists to read up on how you kill a Sun Devil, because there's a lot of outside stuff there. Just as far as a beast alone, a buffalo's going to be pretty hard to tangle with. I mean, a buffalo's utterly outstanding. Did I leave any of them out? The Cougar will find a way. Clear-minded and crafty, a combination of stay out of harm's way and attack when you get your chances or your openings.
Golly, guys, you guys are gonna make me very emotional during this. Okay, the piano in the background, jeez. I mean, but the guy knows. He just Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz. I'm Captain Cool alongside the Bandi Man. And, I mean, thinking back on that, I mean, just like everything he says, okay? Again, you might think he's just talking nonsense right there, but it's like, okay. Like, he's actually going way more in depth than anybody would go in depth about this type of stuff. And it's just, oh, my gosh, it's just great.
Yeah, and then he turns it around to when he was talking about the Cougars, which I'm trying to remember what school that's the mascot for in the Pac-12. I know what school was it? Like Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington State.
Yeah.
But when he turns around and talks about the Cougars, he's talking about them being clear-minded and being level-headed. And then I believe like when he's going into that talk in that description, he's really talking about his team.
Yeah, I love it. I love all what he's got to say. I mean, again, you know, he talks that monotone stuff. So if you gotta keep up with it, you gotta keep up with it. Okay, you just gotta stay with it. And if you know what he's saying, you know what he's saying. If you're not all about that life, you're not gonna know what he's saying. But the man talks in riddles, and I loved it. I love it very much. But yeah, we got jam-packed segment, so we're gonna fly right into it. Remember that this hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all your roofing needs. More rain's coming, Bandy. More rain's coming.
More rain is coming.
And sadly, we might get a little rain tomorrow on our beautiful Christmas party at Flow Trampoline Park, presented by Talent Roofing and Talent Heating and I get all these things mixed up. But either way, we're gonna jump.
Heating and Air.
Yeah, heating and air. I was just the air. I was trying to do the restoration. It's all just there, guys. But either way, we're gonna hop right into the NFL recap, and that's all coming up on Oh, It's Cool.
It's getting hot in here.
Hot.
Oh, another goal scored by Argentina.
Hot and 3-0. Golly, Croatia.
That's
Spicy goal.
That is
So
a
it's time
spicy
to cool
beatdown.
down with Captain Cool.
You know what cool is?
Semifinals. Not. It's a blowout right now. Either way.
I was hoping for a Croatia-Morocco final, but I don't think we're getting it.
That would have been cool. But you know what else is cooler?
What's that?
You know what time it is. That other music is just chilling out. It makes sense, though. All right. First things first. I still like that music in the background. There's a lot. There it is. All right, it's gone. Thank you, Chad. All right. Thursday Night Football. We all know what happened. The Raiders looked like they were just going to easily take care of the L.A. Rams. The L.A. Rams, their season on the line. There was only one man to save it. And no, I ain't talking about John Wolford.
Why is it always him? Why is it always him?
Only one man that could save it. He's only done, I think, from what I've seen, 2 game-winning drives, okay?
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. He's done it twice, like, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah. That is one maker, Baker Mayfield. He's the maker. He is the baker. Baker Mayfield. 230 yards throwing in the air with 1 touchdown. Cam Akers did nothing but score a touchdown. Good on them. Good on them. But you know who led them there? Baker Mayfield. Okay. Derek Carr, fine game. 137 yards passing. Whatever. Josh Jacobs. Of course he's going to have nearly 100 yards, if not 100 yards. He got 99 with a touchdown. At 27 attempts, they're putting this man to work like they should, though. Devontae Adams, doing what Devontae Adams does, being the lead receiver for this team, 71 yards. The Raiders laid an egg, could not finish it. Who's the worst team in the league? One of these 2 teams. Because the Texans, they almost beat the Cowboys.
I mean, they almost, but did you see I imagine you saw the end of that game.
I saw the end of it.
And I hope we talk about it because, you want to talk about a throw.
Either way, Rams moved to 4-9. Is their season saved? We'll find out later on in this recap, guys. The Seahawks have to lose. Moving on. Dolphins, Chargers. Dolphins, where are you guys at? Your season's falling apart. Tua Tagovailoa, 145 yards passing with 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill only got 4 receptions, but 81 yards will do. 1 touchdown by him. On the other end, Justin Herbert making his cause heard. Get it? Herb?
Cause Herbert.
Yeah, exactly. 367 yards passing with a touchdown. Austin Eckler, same kind of similar progressive by him, doing the stuff that Cam Akers did with around 40 yards and a touchdown. Mike Williams, on the other hand, 116 yards receiving with 1 touchdown. The Chargers of LA get the dub, 23-17. It's a good weekend for the LAs.
Yeah, but I mean, really, the big question coming out of this game is where has Tua Where's Tua?
I don't know. He's not doing like he used to. I'll say that. I don't know. Maybe it's just that midseason stunt. Maybe people are just getting a little tired. That's how it is. Chargers win this one, though. Now they're 7-6, looking pretty good. Coming back.
Yeah, I remember when we used to think that the Dolphins and the Chargers, I mean, this would be like a guaranteed matchup win for the Dolphins a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on. Buccaneers, 49ers. The Bucs, they officially suck. Very bad, okay? This game showed it. I was at the gym. The score was 35-0. 49ers were up. What the heck is going on? First off, I understand. 49ers have one of the best defenses in the league, okay? But Tom Brady not being able to do anything, and then his kickers, scoop. Let's miss a few kicks. Let's go for it on 4th down. Let's just not do anything. And you know what? Let's let Brock Purdy just demolish in his first start. Man is just amazing. 2 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown rushing. It might not have been much, but he did it. Okay? 185 yards passing from him. Christian McCaffrey got a lot of the passes with a lot of the gains on both passing and also on rushing because the man had 119 yards rushing the ball with 1 touchdown. And Brandon Ayuk, doing a spectacular thing. Him and Deebo Samuel, amazing players. I will say that. Okay. Some things about Deebo Samuel kind of upset me though in this game. When he scored that touchdown, the rushing touchdown, great job by him. Nice, very talented play right there. Ran over a cameraman, just walked over it. I looked at him, I was like, sir, you could at least help him up a little bit.
Yeah, like, come on.
I
get you have a game to play, but like, you ran him over.
Yeah, you
help him out.
You ran him over. He looked like he fell over pretty hardcore. Plus, he's also got a lot of expensive equipment. I mean, this he's doing a lot for the team. All right.
Yeah.
Just help him up. Tom Brady, 253 yards passing with 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin, 54 yards receiving. 35-7 was the score in that one. Just an ugly game for Tampa Bay. And you know what? They're just going to ride out the end of the season thinking about this game.
If you're the 49ers, do you start investing in Brock Purdy now?
Yes. I say so. But that's maybe an over-exaggeration.
See, I think so too. I'm with you.
Man's talented.
Yeah, because this shows. He has just shown that he has not only been sitting on the sidelines, he has not been twiddling his thumbs. He has been preparing, sitting on the sidelines ready, and he got his first career start and showed out.
Yeah, some of the plays that this kid was making, something that you'd see Patrick Mahomes making, okay?
Yeah.
And that's just, Patrick Mahomes is something special, okay? And I'll get into that a little bit later. But either way, let me tell you, 49ers looking really, really good. Moving on, Panthers, Seahawks. Hey, guess what? Rams fans, you're still alive.
You're good.
You're still alive.
For now.
Hanging on by a thumb, okay? Panthers, come into this one. What's going on with the Panthers? They're looking decent. I mean, Sam Darnold, 120 yards passing with 1 touchdown. It was just like, hey, I'll do a little decent. They were just able to just consistently score throughout this game, except for in the third quarter. But 10 points, all quarters except for the third. They had 30 on the day. Whereas the Seahawks, Geno Smith, 3 touchdowns, looking spectacular by him, like always. I mean, Geno Smith, congrats to you for being such a good player this year, really bringing your career back. 264 yards passing by him. Melvin Gordon had 95 yards receiving from Geno Smith with the touchdown, and it just wasn't enough because the Panthers win this one 30-24. Seahawks kind of showing a little bit of their age, okay?
Yeah.
They're starting to show they're a little worn at this point in the season. But you know who's not worn?
Who's that?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, God.
Russell Wilson's back, baby, and let me tell you, spectacular performance by him. Finally, I could say it. 3 touchdowns thrown. You're telling me this guy scored over 20 points?
He finally did it.
He did it.
He finally did it.
Good
he
stuff.
finally had a Broncos game that wasn't boring.
It was not. It was not boring. Patrick Mahomes on the other end, 352 yards with 3 touchdowns as well. This man, he's like, hey, Russell Wilson, I'll take you, and I'll take it a step further. Let me just win this game real quick. Golly, it was just a great game. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm glad you finally decided to invest in your offense and really push forward and score. But what happened to your trademark defense now?
Yeah.
Like you've been holding other teams to like around the same scoring margin as you. So what happened this week?
The sacrifices to the blood demons. Either way, McKinnon on the Chiefs had a spectacular game. 2 touchdowns, 112 yards receiving, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get the dub. Move to 10-3, and the Broncos 3-10. 34-28 was the final in that one. Moving on, Eagles, Giants. What do you expect? Eagles like to expose the would-be teams. The Giants were yet another one of them. Jalen Hurts, 217 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. Wow, golly. A.J. Brown, 4 receptions, 70 yards receiving, and a touchdown himself. And Miles Sanders doing amazing. Best player on the team right here. In this game, best player on the team. 17 attempts, 144 yards rushing. 2 touchdowns by him. Great stuff by this Eagles team. Really showing the depth that they have. And that's why they're sitting at 12-1 now, Bandy.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy what happens when you give probably, I would say, would you give Jalen the MVP?
I still got to see a little bit more from him.
Really?
I'm going to be honest.
This deep into the season?
Still got to see a little bit more from him.
But, I mean, it's kind of crazy that when you put an MVP caliber quarterback with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins, I believe, is hurt now after the Philadelphia game. Or he got hurt a little bit.
Might be a little shooken up.
A little bit, I think. I thought I saw him go down during the game, if I remember right. Quez?
Huh? Quads? I don't know.
Quads.
Either way, Jalen Hurts is looking good. 22 touchdowns of the season with only 3 interceptions. So, I mean, man's consistent to say the least, okay? He's doing a great job leading this team to victories throughout this season. And the Giants just couldn't get it done. The Eagles win 48-22. I mean, this is just looking like the Bills of, like, last year where they just ran away with almost every single game.
Oh.
Speaking of the Bills, what?
Never mind. That's Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins. Okay, Sammy Watkins.
From Athens, Alabama.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Sammy Watkins, I was, like, confused because I was like, he wasn't in this game. But I wasn't going to say anything. I was gonna let you figure it out, Bandy. Thanks, Chad. Speaking of the Bills, though, Bills went up against the Jets in a little battle of the New Yorks. And let me tell you, I expected more from this Bills team. This is the second time they're facing the Jets, and golly. The Jets, they might be a little bit of the Bills' kryptonite, but in this game, they just weren't there. They weren't glowing enough. I'll say the kryptonite wasn't strong enough because Josh Allen, he did well, both rushing and passing with 147 yards in the air with 1 touchdown as well as 47 yards on the ground with another touchdown. Dawson Knox had himself a touchdown as well with 41 yards receiving. On the other side, Mike White, he got clapped as well. I don't know what they're going to do with all these quarterbacks, honestly. 268 yards passing from him. Good on them, but just not enough. The defense really held out, but it just wasn't there on the offense. 20-12 was the score, and the Bills also moved to 10-3. Moving on, the Lions of Detroit. They are better than probably ever right now, okay?
Yeah, it's like, how is this a team sitting at 6-7 when they've taken down some of the people they've taken down?
Dude, they're moving through. They're upgrading. They got Jameson Williams, and they're looking spectacular now, okay? This game was wonderful. I can say that at least, okay? Justin Jefferson on the other side, wonderful game by him. Wonderful game. Him on the Vikings, just spectacular fit. He had 11 receptions for not 1, but 223 yards receiving. Spectacular by him. Kirk Cousins should have had him on fantasy because he had 425 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. On the other side, Jared Goff had 330 himself with 3 touchdowns, and it was just that's all she wrote. I mean, the Lions just did a better game. They won 34-23 against this 10-3 Vikings team. Vikings showing a little bit of a little bit of tired. I don't know. They started looking tired. Either way, Vikings fall to 10-3. Lions 6-7. They're coming back, guys. They're still there. Another team that is coming back is the Jaguars. Only in this game, though, because I don't think they're going to win next week. Either way, Jaguars versus Titans. Titans couldn't get anything going. I mean, they started strong, 14-7. And then from there on out, they had to wait until the 4th to score another. And that's probably why they lost. Ryan Tannehill, 254 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 121 yards on the ground. That's what I like to see. A touchdown by him. Austin Hooper had 68 yards receiving, good for a tight end. Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, 368 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Travis Etienne, only 32 yards. That's all right. It was all right.
All right.
Yeah, it was all right. But he wasn't. None of these guys are really the big things because Evan Ingram, 162 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns, and that's why the Jaguars get the 36-22 dub and move to 5-8. Again, they're probably not going to win next week. I got to say, they're a very shaky team. Another shaky team in the Texans actually put up a fight against the Cowboys in the battle for Texas. Davis Mills, nothing really by him. But that's okay because Pierce had 78 yards rushing with a touchdown. doing spectacular on the ground, just kind of blowing through this Cowboys defense. It was surprising to say the least, Bandy. Dak Prescott, on the other hand, 284 yards passing by him with 1 touchdown. And Ezekiel Elliott back on that top running spot, 62 yards by him, a touchdown. And that was all she wrote. Cowboys barely pulled this one out, Bandy.
Yeah, no, I would say they didn't just pull it out. Houston kind of threw it away at the end. For one, I'm not sure what the timeout management was there toward the end. I'm not sure why you would waste all 3 of your timeouts on defense.
Yeah.
To benefit them. Instead of making them use their timeouts when they're pushing the ball, you use yours when they're most likely going to be in scoring position.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to bring it back. And then, I mean, I kind of get why they went for the touchdown at the very end. They try to be up by 2 possessions. Two. But also at the same time.
Risky.
Oh, my gosh.
Risky. It's risky. Either way.
It's very risky.
Texans lose yet another one.
They lost it again because not only that, they gave Dallas all the time they needed to push all the way back up the field while using good timeout management and scoring to win.
Yeah, the Texans nearly pulled out in a huge upset, probably the biggest of the season, but now they fall to 11-1. 27-23 was the final score on that one. The Cowboys being able to survive yet again. I hope we don't see that in the playoffs. I hope this isn't them showing a little bit of their playoff self, but either way, they got T.Y. Hilton to join in on that wide receiving core, so they should do a little bit better. Browns-Bengals, don't even want to talk about it, but you know what, I got it.
Don't even want to talk about it.
Deshaun Watson's looking fine, I got to say. He's not looking bad, all right, but this offense just can't get anything done. They're trying to put it in Deshaun Watson's hands a little too much, where you got a freaking Nick Chubb in the background, and he's not being able to carry the ball enough. He had 14 attempts, Bandy, 34 yards rushing. This is not the Browns team we know and love. Donovan Peoples-Jones, great on him, being able to kind of carry this team in the receiving aspect with 114 yards. But this is a run-first team, and you know what? They're trying to push a little too hard on Deshaun Watson, passing the ball, and I get it. You know what? He looks comfortable in the pocket. He's starting to look a little bit better throwing the ball, but he's not the team. It's the running game that is this team. That is why Joe Burrow was able to do what he needed to do, because he didn't have to worry about the Browns' offense, okay? 239 yards from him with 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 96 yards on the ground, and Jamar Chase is back, baby, with 119 yards and 1 touchdown. Bengals just win this one, 23-10. It wasn't really competition at some points. And I got to say this, congrats to Joe Burrow getting his first win against the Cleveland Browns. He's 1-4 now.
He's finally conquered the block.
He's 1-4. Yeah, whoa, we got a freaking cheering thing. Heck yeah, now we're official now.
Chad, that was quick.
It's quick. Either way, moving on. Ravens, Steelers. Hate to see it. Want an asteroid to come and just go through the field, but you know what? I don't want any casualties. The Ravens are falling apart at this point in the season, but they're able to still beat this terrible Steelers team. And you know what sucks? My boy Kenny Pickett's gone. He's out. And you know what sucks even more?
It's Trubisky.
The Trubiscuits.
Trubiscuits?
Terrible performance by Mitchell Trubisky. In this game, did he have 3 interceptions thrown as soon as he was pretty much in? 3 interceptions by him in this game, okay? 1 touchdown, 276 yards passing. It doesn't make up for the 3 interceptions. God awful, if I could say that. Najee Harris didn't do much either. On the other end, Tyler Huntley, 88 yards passing. That's about it. It's all right. Dobbins had 120 yards plus a touchdown. And Steelers, it was a boring game, let me just tell you. Steelers lost this one, moved to 5-8. The Browns still have a chance to be ahead of them, but the Ravens are starting to pull away with it. They're sitting at 9-4. Hopefully the Browns can pull out a nice little win against them when they need to. 16-14 is the end of this one. And then last night, Patriots Cardinals. Oh wow, you know it really stinks losing Kyler Murray. But you know what? He's gonna be playing some Call of Duty. He's gonna get better. I swear. And you know what? Colt McCoy still sucks in the NFL, and it's sad to see. Sad to see. He's been in it for so long. But James Conner, on the other hand, doesn't. Cardinals running back. He got 85 yards rushing with a touchdown. And then DeAndre Hopkins, 79 yards in the air. Man's still performing for this Cardinals team. He's probably the only good thing about this team right now. I will say that much. James Conner will get there, but I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best.
Without looking it up, how old do you think Colt McCoy is?
Colt McCoy is 32. No, 34.
36.
Wow.
He has been in the NFL for a while.
Since like 2011, I believe.
Yeah, because when was that national championship where he got hurt? What year?
2000.
That was like 2008.
Which one?
Or 2009.
2009 was Alabama,
Texas.
Yeah, 2009. So, yeah, that was his last year. 2010, he joined in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then he had to take over for, like, Brady Quinn, which was just on my screen doing some CBS stuff. Either way, Cardinals just they just stopped scoring after the second. And, I mean, it was ugly by them. Patriots were able to run away with this. Mac Jones had 235 yards passing. And, yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote. 27-13. Guys, it was an interesting week in the NFL. But it's just going to get more interesting because we got even more matchups coming up. And we'll be talking about that with Mr. RJ White from sportsline.com tomorrow around 3. So make sure you guys stick tuned to that because we'll be live at Flow.
We've also got Doghouse Fantasy Football League playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Starting now.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
This is the first week of playoffs.
I'm not in it, I don't think. I'm not in it. I definitely am not. Am I done with the fantasy for the year?
I'm not sure. Let me see.
Either way. Let's hop to a break. Whenever we come back, you can finish that out, I guess.
Yeah, I'll fill you in.
Yeah, fill me in on that. Either way, don't go anywhere, guys, because when we come back, we're going to recap, we're going to talk about the second hour, and we're going to recap a little bit of the first, and we're going to look into the Doghouse Fantasy League. That's all coming up on the Afternoon Blitz.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com.
New Year's Eve in Nashville has a new twist this year.
Touchdown, right up the middle, 45 yards.
The 25th annual Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl is Saturday, December 31st at 11 a.m.
Still on his feet, touchdown!
Get your ticket to the biggest party in Nashville as the Iowa Hawkeyes and Kentucky Wildcats square off at Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What are all the things you witness online in a day? Cats playing piano, selfies on your feed, your friend's picture being turned into a nasty meme that's been shared 50 times, 51, 52. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The Blitz has been called. The Blitz has been called.
Crown.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry, joined across the aisle by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Hey. Hi.
That's such a good intro to come back to. But I was pulling up the fantasy league, like the Doghouse Fantasy League.
Yeah.
We're all still in it. We're all in the playoffs.
Boo.
Technically.
Yeah.
Because you have like a winner's bracket and then it's double elimination, it looks like.
For the winners? Oh, yeah. And then I'm sitting in the poopy bracket.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see, like, if you just, like, set your lineup, I could see you just running through it.
I would like to. I think I've beaten all the teams that I'm going to be playing in that winner's bracket. So, hey, maybe in the loser's bracket I'll be able to succeed, and maybe I'll get a little poopy ring myself. But, Bandi, I'm pushing for you to beat everybody because I don't think we can hold another ring inside that house. Okay.
I'm a little bit salty.
Yeah?
Because 4 of us tied for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
All at 10-4. And of course, Vizar gets a bye. And Grumpy gets a bye as well. We're all sitting at 10-4, but your mom and me have to go through the first round.
Well, this is the thing. How many points has Tom scored on this season? Because that's the one thing where it's like points 4, he probably has the most because his team is ridiculous.
Final standings projections. What?
You'll figure it out.
I'm trying to, on this mobile app, I am trying.
I feel like Tom's team is always broken, though. That's the thing. He always finds the perfect players to go into his lineup. And you know what's funny? He still wasn't able to beat me last year. I decided to take a year off so you guys could have a chance. But I guess I'll have to come out of the loser's bracket and still beat you guys.
Okay, so was it PF or PA?
PF. Points against is points against.
Okay, points 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom was sitting at 1,941.
It's a lot of points.
Oh, my gosh. I was sitting, 1,715 for me.
Yeah.
For your mom, 1,832. And Grumpy, 1,864. Okay. Yeah, my goodness.
Yeah, those guys, they have some teams. They have some stacked teams. But, yeah, a little lackluster from my side. But I wanted to focus a little bit more on the sports aspect and as a team and stuff like that. Because last year, I went crazy just checking my lineups all the time and stuff. So
this is a rebuilding year.
It's a rebuilding year, exactly. I know exactly who I need to grab for next year. Maybe Cole Beasley will come back and I can pick somebody up instead of, the one Mr. Cooper Kupp who hasn't played at all this season because, injuries. But still.
Get the lottery pick.
I know. I need to get that lottery pick. We got to do that. We have to do that, actually, because I think it was unfair. Me and you had to sit, last on the table pretty much, and it was just, we got the scraps at the point.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm cool with going last.
Okay.
Yeah, because you get 2 picks in a row.
There you go.
Like, you gotta wait a little bit, but you can make 2 power plays, right off the bat.
I guess so. Either way. Are we already done with the first hour? Jeez.
We're already done with the first hour.
That went by fast. Either way, whenever we come back, we got Nebias Wilborn from AL.com to talk a little bit of Auburn football, Auburn basketball, Auburn sports in general. It's going to be great to have him on. And then after that, the play-by-play with the Bandi Man. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. You guys stay tuned because a lot's to come in this second hour. You guys are listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider for Alabama athletics. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Alabama women's basketball head coach Christy Curry joined us on the radio following Alabama's Sunday victory at Southern Miss.
Just a gutsy win, they tried to shorten the game and shorten the possessions like we've seen, but again, I think really good teams find ways to win, and as ugly as it was at times, I'm just really proud of our kids for finding a way to win down the stretch and doing a really good job there in the second quarter from that point on, trying to make sure, that we got some really good touches, and gosh, it was ugly, but, coming off finals, and they're 5-0 at home, so they're tough in this building, and I loved our kids' response today through some adversity. Let's make sure that we do a really good job on Tuesday, Wednesday of preparing for Little Rock on the 16th, then we go 18th, and we go 20th and 22nd. So it's a really important stretch that we have a growth mindset as we finish right here before Christmas. And that's what we're asking of them, is just have that growth mindset, get in the gym. Obviously, we really struggled to make some shots today, and now that we're back on our feet and no books, we can focus on our chemistry and getting better.
I'll have more in a moment.
There is no substitute for hard work. Just ask the Crimson Tide. At Dex Imaging, they know the meaning of hard work, too. You don't become the best in the office equipment business without it. If you need a copier and printer company that understands hard work, quality, dependability, and customer service, then give Dex Imaging a call or go to deximaging.com. Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider of Alabama Athletics.
Join us tonight for Alabama men's basketball against Memphis. Tip-off against the Tigers is set for 8 p.m. Central, with our radio coverage beginning at 7 p.m. from Coleman Coliseum. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Dex Imaging. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
New Year's Eve in Nashville has a new twist this year.
Touchdown, right up the middle, 45 yards.
The 25th annual Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl is Saturday, December 31st at 11 a.m.
Still on his feet, touchdown!
Get your ticket to the biggest party in Nashville as the Iowa Hawkeyes and Kentucky Wildcats square off at Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and sun salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome back into a Tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land. Hour number 2 on the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry. And, this hour, guys, I'm going to go right into it. This hour is presented by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. Drive home in a brand new 2022 Ford Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys, so go and find out more online at WoodyAndersonFord.com. And if you're not following us on the socials, the Blitz _sports is where you're going to find us on Twitter, and on the stream you can find us at WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube. But on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, we have a wonderful guest that joins us quite a bit, especially around this time, because there's a lot of stuff going on in Auburn sports. Okay, Auburn basketball, Auburn football. There's a lot of transfers going down. There's a lot of players declaring for drafts and stuff like that. And the guest today is one Mr. Nebias Wilborn from AL.com. Nebias, how are you doing today?
I'm all right, man. I've been a little busy. A lot of things going on, but we are ready to grind, brother.
Good stuff. I can hear that. It's the holiday season. Obviously, we're all going to be a little bit busy nowadays. It really just kind of looking back on when we were children and all that stuff. We think about it. We can hardly get some sleep whenever we're waiting for Christmas to come. But then, whenever we're adults, it's the opposite. We fall asleep as soon as possible because every single day is a busy day trying to set up for this Christmas season.
Well, it's also different when you're getting gifts versus paying for gifts, too. So
Exactly.
There's also that. Shout out to my niece and my nephews who are looking forward to stuff. So you know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's always good to get it out of the way, though, and then you feel good about what you've done. But let's hop into some sports, shall we? I saw that, one Mr. Tank Bigsby, Auburn running back, is declared for the NFL draft. I saw you had a nice little article on that at AL.com. Kind of just talk on his career at Auburn and, what piece might need to be coming in to fill out his position. Because, I mean, Tank Bigsby is one of those guys where you see him and he's like, oh, this is a one in a decade, maybe one in a few decade type running back.
No, Baylor's a very talented young man who had a really good career at Auburn. Unfortunately, his career came during the last two seasons, both being losing seasons, including one that saw a coach got fired. So you think about it, basically had three head coaches within his time, going from Gus Malzahn to Brian Harsin to Cadillac, and then he would have ended up playing for Hugh Freeze. Of course, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
7 all-time on Auburn yards list by running back, which you talk about the Bo Jacksons, the James Andrews of the world. You're talking about the Caddies, the Ronnie Browns. You looking at, he's top 10 all time at 7 with the 25 touchdowns and the impact. And even if you look at last year, this past season, a lot of those carries, those yards came after contact. He was had one of the worst as far as getting hit beyond the line of scrimmage of any running back. And it wasn't his fault. Offensive line situations like that. But I always remember that Ole Miss game. He went out for 170 yards, balled out, Auburn lost. But he had a good career. It's just a shame that it didn't come with more bowl wins and things of that nature that Auburn is used to when they have a running back at Tank Bigsby's caliber.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, it's the way of the game. Sometimes you have a good season with good players, and sometimes you have good players and a bad season. It's just kind of the way the world works. But now kind of looking at the transfer portal stuff that's going down, I mean, there's a few quarterbacks that are kind of, in the question. Are they going to come to Auburn? Are they going to play? And, I mean, there's a few that I could, call out right now. Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina was one of those guys that he just declared to, kind of go into this transfer portal. And I kind of want to get your opinion on who you think would be the best fit to come into this Auburn team and kind of take them to that bowl game or that SEC championship that they have really just been trying to get back into.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the quarterback, and he is a very unique talent. There's a lot of offensive linemen in the portal that Auburn really needs more than anything. And we'll see. I mean, there's 1,000 kids in there, and we'll look. But let's talk about this quarterback. He's a very unique talent. Now, that being said, Auburn thinks they have a starting quarterback, Robbie Ashford. So that could be interesting to see how that plays out. Remember last year, Auburn brought in 2 quarterbacks, Ashford and Zach Calzada. Of course, Zach Calzada never actually played a down for Auburn with all the injuries and everything else. We still haven't officially heard anything from TJ Finley, but I'm pretty sure he's probably not returning. I don't think that's breaking news.
Yeah.
But, we just haven't heard anything officially that I've seen yet. So I guess we'll keep our eyes on that and see what he decides. But I have a hard time believing he's coming back. So maybe you do go after this kid, but then, hey, that's going to make Robbie Ashford really have to push himself if he's going to maintain as a starter.
Yep, Nabias Wilborn with us from AL.com talking Auburn sports, Auburn athletics. And speaking of that, it actually just came out that Hugh Freeze has found his offensive defensive coordinators as well, which is Ron Roberts and Philip Montgomery, which with Ron Roberts plan from Baylor, which he crafted that defense into a top 10 scoring defense in, I believe, 2021 when they had their Big 12 championship run. I mean, how do you see these two guys fitting into Hugh Freeze's system at Auburn?
Well, I mean, first of all, starting with Montgomery, you had a former head coach who's had some success at Tulsa, but Tulsa's a tough place to play. He got fired there at the end of the year, but he did have some success there. Won a couple bowl games. He had one 10-win season, something like that at Tulsa, but he's known as the offensive innovator, and also Roberts is known as the defensive innovator. There were other schools after him, and Auburn got him, so we'll see how that works out. I think at Baylor wasn't exactly what he wanted, but that 2021 season, hey, he got it rolling. Now, of course, they had 4 guys get drafted off that defense out of 2021, and the results were the same in 2022, which led to his demise there because you know how this game goes. But I think they'll both do well enough. I think these are 2 good hires. if I'm correct, well, let's see, they've already hired a tight ends coach who they brought from Liberty. I think all they're missing is wide receivers. They got secondary. They got pretty much everything. So I guess we'll wait till they officially – and by the way, they haven't made these hires official, but if you go on Philip Montgomery's Twitter bio, his Abby's already changed, and same thing with Mr. Roberts there. His Abby changed to a very interesting Photoshop of him in the new Auburn gear. So, we're assuming they're working. We've seen Ben, the tight ends coach, on the road already. We've seen some other things. So I guess we'll wait till the official announcement from Auburn to tie all this together, hopefully the next day or so.
Yeah, and kind of, trying to finish out the football talk, at least for now, and go on to basketball. But kind of just tell me what you want to really see on this offseason. What things can Auburn do to kind of make sure that next year will be a better year compared to this one? You're not saying too much, but, I mean, just let the people know exactly what, this team needs to do to move forward in the right direction going into next season.
Well, it's really going to depend on if they can flip the roster stuff. Can you find some offensive line? You're losing a whole bunch off the offensive line. And off the defensive line, losing edge rushers like Kobe Wooden and obviously Derek Hall, the all-SEC guy. Losing those guys is going to be a lot. Marquise Burks is going off the defensive line. Pretty much your whole entire starting group of the offensive line is graduating or is out of eligibility. And so you're going to have to replace those guys. Starting at center, starting with the tackles, the guards. You are going to have to do some work in this portal over the next couple of weeks, which will kind of give us an idea as to where Auburn is, how it's received around the country under Hugh Freeze. So that's going to be the first thing. I mean, the coaching hires, we'll see what they do. But, man, it's about players, dog.
Yeah.
It's straight up about players. And can Auburn find enough players in that portal? What's going on with NIL? Do they have enough NIL resources to make this thing pop? And I guess we'll find out, starting on December 21st with National Signing Day. Early Signing Day, excuse me.
And Tobias Wilborn with us from AL.com does a fantastic job of covering Auburn sports and everything Auburn athletics. Kind of moving over to basketball really quick. Auburn did unfortunately have their first loss against the Memphis Tigers the other night on Saturday, dropping to 8-1. And I just kind of want to get your takeaway from your game and what you thought about the game as a whole and what Auburn can do going forward.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it really starts with how well that Memphis's offense was able to run. I mean, you look at it, Memphis came in scoring about 72 a night, Auburn gave 83. All right? Whereas Memphis came in giving up around 60 points a night, and Auburn scored 73. Like Bruce Pearl said, Auburn could probably beat Memphis most nights if Auburn scores 73 points. There's no way Auburn's going to beat Memphis when they give up 82 points. And a lot of it was they were able to take Janai Broome and Dylan Cardwell away from the basket. All right, Auburn only had 2 blocks. They came in averaging around 7 blocks between Cardwell and Janai Broome. And we know Janai Broome from last year when he's at Moorhead, how good of a block shot guy he is. And he's gotten better. And Dylan Cardwell is one of the best shot blockers. And going even back to Walker Kessler last year, Auburn's been really good at shot blocking, eliminating points in the paint. But Auburn gave up over 50 points in the paint to Memphis. And you just can't do that if you're Auburn. And so we'll see if they can correct that going forward against a Georgia State team that actually is really well around the paint and does really well in mid-range. So another thing for Auburn is ill-advised shots, turnovers, things of that nature. It's just little things that will have to tighten up. There have been issues throughout the year because Auburn will have times where they have lulls where they won't score for 3 or 4 minutes, and that happens often. And they've been able to overcome it because they can out-athletic, out-physical, those issues. But they ran into a Memphis team, one of the few teams in the country that was as athletic, if not more athletic than Auburn. So we'll see how that plays out going forward.
Yeah, and what also surprised me, I did not expect Auburn to drop 8 spots in the AP. That actually surprised me because I think this Memphis team, for one, should not be unrated. They're a lot better than I think people are giving them credit for. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a good Memphis team. I mean, I would have thought maybe 2 spots, maybe. Dropping 8 spots, dropping from 11 to 18. I think it's a little steep. That's just me.
I agree.
But, you know, it's early in the season, and really these rankings kind of matter, but so much. However, it was a steep drop, I thought. I thought it was a little steep, and I think Memphis should be ranked. I mean, they've only had 2 losses. You look at the losses, they played a bunch of good teams. I mean, I think right now they're probably in the lead for the SEC West Division with over Ole Miss and Auburn already. So, and they play Alabama tonight. So I guess we'll get an idea a little bit more about the goodness of this Memphis team, as well as Alabama, who's off to an incredible start this year.
Yeah, which that's what's crazy to me about Alabama, because I mean I really like what they've done with under Nate Oates and what Nate Oates has done for this program, but I don't think I've ever seen a team, at least for an Alabama squad, really played together as a whole like this squad is right now, and really play really good team ball.
No, they're looking really good, and I haven't gotten to watch them as much as I like because I'm kind of busy, with Auburn, but the games I've seen, I watched that Houston game, and, hey, they were down by 15 to a really – so, I mean, number 1 ranked team in the country, a really good team that actually, oddly enough, plays in the same conference with Memphis, right? So it's kind of interesting how these things kind of crossed and meld, if you will. But, no, this is a really good Alabama team. And I tell you what, you look at UAB, you look at UAH up there where you guys are, Auburn, Alabama, Troy – there's some excellent college basketball, being played in the state of Alabama this year.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I've wanted to ask you. What's kind of been with really the growth of basketball in the SEC and the Southeastern region? What's kind of been a program that's kind of just surprised you that you didn't expect to maybe pop up as quick as they have, or maybe improve as fast as they have, and maybe just one you've kept your eye on to the side on top of Auburn?
Well, I say Texas A&M. I mean, what they got going on, but Peterson. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, Vanderbilt's always been kind of a sneaky good program, but I think their coach has got it. Jerry Stackhouse has got it rolling. I mean, there's a lot of teams that you can really name in the SEC because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the SEC historically has not been a basketball conference in that way, but right now, I could argue it's a better basketball conference than it is a football conference. If you look at the SEC from top to bottom, when you look at Kentucky, you look at Florida trying to get it back together with Golden down there, and you look at Vanderbilt, like I mentioned, Texas A&M, Arkansas, the way they're playing, the way they got it rolling, Missouri's trying to get things going. There's a lot of interesting teams, interesting coaches in the SEC, and again, you look at it, and this really starts with Commissioner Greg Sankey laying down the law and saying, hey, man, we could be good at basketball too, and I want you to invest into it. And I'm also curious to see if that sleeping giant over in Athens, Georgia, could ever get it rolling, because the way they've been able to recruit Atlanta in football, it's amazing how it translated to basketball. But Auburn has been recruiting Atlanta so well, even when you look at the Peyton Marshall signing for the 2024 class.
Right, and it's also I saw like a stat pop up.
I'm sorry, I said me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I saw a stat pop up the other day. It was just, this is the first time, and under Nick Saban's tenure, that Alabama basketball has been rated higher in the AP poll than Alabama in football.
Well, there you go. I mean, shout out to Nate Oates. Look, he's really. I mean, and by the way, and let's be real. I mean, first off, credit to Nick Saban to what he's been able to do with that program. I know as an Auburn beat writer, somebody's gonna get mad at me for giving Nick Saban some credit, but I mean, he deserves it. But also it does show a testament to Alabama and what Nate Oates has been able to do coming from Buffalo and building something down there in Tuscaloosa, because it's not easy to have both programs rolling at the same time, and it seems that Alabama's on its way. So credit to Nate Oates and that coaching staff he has there, really bright coaching staff, and it's going to be very interesting over the year, and particularly when Auburn and Alabama play each other. Remember, Auburn swept them last year. Now, of course, Auburn had, 2 lottery picks, basically. So we'll see how that rematch plays out this year, both in Auburn and in Tuscaloosa.
For sure. And, I mean, that SEC conference right now in basketball is extremely stacked, just looking at the records and all that. But that is Nebias Wilborn from AL.com. Nebias, let the people know where they can find you.
Check me out on Twitter at nwillborn19. I guess as long as Twitter still exists. And that's my handle for Instagram and everything else. And then, of course, my work's on AL.com. Find out on AL.com/Auburn Tigers, and you'll find all the stuff we do.
Very nice. Nabais, it's always great talking with you. Maybe we can talk with you a little bit later on in the Auburn basketball season, and maybe we'll figure some new stuff out with Auburn football during their off season. But Nabais, you have a great rest of your day and a happy holidays for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come here.
Nabais Wilborn from AL.com. Always doing a great job. Always. It's just, I mean, he talks what he needs to talk about. I mean, he does a spectacular job talking both sports, and it's really good to get somebody who has the knowledge to flex both football and also basketball. And again, you can find all his work at AL.com for all the Auburn information you want. You could literally just look up online Auburn news, Auburn football news, Auburn basketball news. You'll see his stories pop up as soon as you click on that AL page, and you can get all the good stuff from him. But, Bandi.
I'm about to say, think about it. That's how we're trying to be right now.
That's how
both flexible in football and basketball.
And also everything else.
Yeah, because I mean, we got you on basketball play-by-play.
Yeah.
And then, because doing the show with you and being around you, constantly talking about the Browns all the time.
NFL
has made me a lot more invested in the NFL.
I'm glad I can
follow
help.
it a lot more.
Hey, and the XFL and the USFL and all the other leagues combined, because there's.
What are we talking about? Soccer now?
Dude, okay, there's a lot of football leagues coming. All right. Either way, there's a lot of good stuff to still get into today on this Tipsy Tuesday. When we come back from break, Bandi Man's got the play-by-play with you guys, and we got a lot of fun, juicy stories to get into. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Are you looking for that right heating and air company to keep those winter blues away? Look no further than Talent Heating and Air. Thomas with us this morning. Thomas, locally owned, no better way to go.
That's right. We're based in Huntsville, so you know you're going to get timely service. Normally we can get to you within that day that you called.
And that number is?
It is 256-503-4490.
And you have special treats for our 97.7 ESPN The Zone listeners.
That's right. For all the listeners that mention this ad, they can get $1,000 off a unit replacement if they call in by the end of the year.
And that number again to call?
256-503-4490.
And 97.7 ESPN The Zone is also happy to announce that we have teamed up with Talent Heating and Air for our December 14th holiday Christmas party benefiting the Toys for Tots. Glad to have you guys aboard.
Yeah, that's right. When y'all talked to us about it, it was a no-brainer for us to get involved with the community and help out kids with the holidays.
All right, it's Talent Heating and Air and 97.7 ESPN The Zone helping kids this year with our toy drive benefiting Toys for Tots on December 14th.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Champy's famous fried chicken started in Chattanooga, but the history of the fried chicken, hand-rolled Mississippi Delta tamales, and comfort food sides started decades before. Champy's famous fried chicken is made from an old family recipe from down in the Delta, and everything is fresh and homemade, including all of the sides and desserts. Come visit Champy's famous fried chicken. You'll find it's the best fried chicken and hand-rolled tamales you've ever had. On Madison Boulevard in the old Bison's location in the Publix Plaza with 22 taps in the full-service bar and 2 outdoor patios. See ya at Champy's.
Wednesday, December 14th from 4 to 8 p.m., 97.7 ESPN The Zone is bringing back our annual Listener Christmas Party presented by Talent Heating and Air and catered by Bubby's Diner. You and your family are invited to join us at Flow Trampoline Park on Drake Avenue for all the fun, including a live radio broadcast, mini putt-putt contest for great prizes, and more. Your admission is an unwrapped toy for boys and girls to help build the Rambo Marine Malibu Wake Boat. That's Wednesday, December 14th from 4 to 8 p.m. at Flow Trampoline Park. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Carl Lewis for the Will Rogers Institute.
Eat all you want and lose weight.
At some point, everybody wants to lose a few pounds, but claims like these are often just too good to be true. So be careful when choosing a diet. Before you start a weight loss plan, please talk to your doctor and do your homework.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter. The Will Rogers Institute, since 1936.
I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Bow, bow.
All right, what up? It's welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz, everybody. What do we call this? Just Tubular Tuesday?
It's Tipsy Tuesday. It sounds like a wacky Wednesday with us singing the songs. But we should do that more often, where we come in just like perfectly. You do half of it, I do the other half, you know, if there are two different lines going in. But yeah, that was very nice. It is a Tipsy or Tubular or Tyrod Taylor Tuesday. So yes.
I mean, it's going to be a wacky Wednesday tomorrow when we're over at Flow Trampoline Park.
It's going to be so wacky at Flow Trampoline Park. By the way, this hour is presented by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place
to find the best cars.
For the bestest of prices. Drive home in a brand new 2022 Ford Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have the Ford Maverick. They've got the Ford F-150. They've got the Ford Ranger. They've got a plethora of beautiful trucks for you guys. So check out WoodyAndersonFord.com to find your perfect vehicle today. That wasn't even on script. Thank you very much.
Let's go. You got that down pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you, indeed. But you know what? We got some good video game news to get into because, my God, Sony just will not stop.
No.
Like, it's at this point where it's just kind of make it or break it with Sony and Microsoft, where I'm going to tell you, Microsoft even offered them another deal, which Sony has turned down, so the case is going to be even more ongoing. The Overwatch 2 devs kind of messed up on the Season 2 patch, and not by kind of, I mean, they messed up a lot. Like, this was a bare bones patch for what they were promising us, but we got hotfix balance changes coming later this week.
Sweet.
As well as an old video game has received a ranked mode after 21 years.
Sheesh.
That is all coming up here on the E Play-by-Play.
Time to catch up on esports with E Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man.
I kind of want to start off with this ranked mode story first because Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Okay.
You know that Slippy thing I was talking about before where people would play online and Nintendo kind of was like, nope, stop it?
Yeah.
Well, people still do it anyway. In fact, it's getting updates.
Oh.
Which I'm happy for. And in fact, it got a ranked mode.
Wow.
So now, because what it used to be is that you would just hop on unranked online and just kind of play whoever you matched with. And that skill varied. I mean, it's kind of what got me off from playing just hopping on Melee.
Yeah.
And just playing it in general because, one, the audience is already very niche. If you know about Slippy, you've probably been following competitive Melee, and therefore you're probably very interested in getting better at Melee, so you've probably been practicing in your free time.
Mm-hmm.
And two, connection was a little bit weird from time to time, but, I mean, not that big a deal, and also I just didn't have the best controller for it.
Yeah.
But now there's a ranked mode where people will now have a definitive MMR, a definitive rank that they're playing against, and a definitive skill level. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It's in early access right now, so it's not fully implemented yet, but a good amount of streamers and top players in Melee have gotten their hands on it, and it seems to be working very well. Like, it works like a really good ranked mode, that you have a full-on stage ban and everything, pick your characters, strike your stages, which ones you don't want to play on. And it works just like you're playing a competitive tournament set.
Really cool. Is this going to be something that you hop back into, Bandi Man, because of the ranked mode?
Maybe if I get a good controller for it.
Yeah,
like if I get a a GameCube controller adapter, USB thing, then I'll probably hop on some Melee online.
Can't you get like the Bluetooth ones? Would that work with your computer, or do you need to have like a specific?
It would, but it's kind of like they don't exactly sync up the best with the emulator.
I see now. I understand why more people use cord or like wired controllers with their computers instead. All right.
Yeah. Plus, my friend got me like purple Space Scene one, like as a birthday gift.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool, but it's a wired one. So, I mean, I want to be using that one.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Like, it looks sick. Now, also, Xbox and Game Pass. For one, Riot Games is now on Game Pass. So, League of Legends, Valorant, Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, and League Wild Rift are now on Game Pass.
Right now?
Yes.
You're meaning I can go home and play some League of Legends on my Xbox?
Not on your Xbox.
Oh.
on your PC. It's on PC Game Pass. I will specify that.
No!
It's on PC Game Pass. But with expectations that Valorant and I imagine possibly League is going to come to Xbox and consoles in the future.
Sweet.
So don't be surprised if we see those later on. But I want to kind of get into these benefits because, for one, you get a good amount of benefits for playing League of Legends and all these games through Game Pass.
Nice. That's what we like to hear, really. We like to hear benefits for Game Pass.
Yep. So for Valorant, like the agent hero-based shooter.
Know it.
If you connect your Game Pass with your League of Legends or Riot account, you will get every agent in the game, all current agents.
Okay.
Access to every new agent as soon as they're released.
That's big.
And 20% match XP boost given to the Battle Pass, Event Pass, and active agent contract progress.
Wow. Forever?
Forever.
Wow. That's spectacular. Another reason to go to Game Pass.
League of Legends.
All right.
All 160-plus champions.
That's a lot of champions.
Access to every new champion as soon as they're released.
How many more could they come out with, Bandi? That's the real question.
I mean, League of Legends has been going on for, at this point, 10-plus years.
Yeah. It was like 2011 or something like that?
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could say it going on even longer. It's still a major esport.
Yeah.
And a 20% XP boost.
And with it coming to Game Pass, a lot more people are going to get their hands on it. And if it ever comes to Xbox, that's just going to be insane because everybody will be playing it. And that's what I want to see. I want more people to be playing games like that on the Xbox consoles.
Teamfight Tactics. Yeah, you even get benefits for Teamfight Tactics.
Sheesh.
1-star, rare Little Legends tacticians. All of them. All the 1-stars.
Cool.
So pretty much every Little Legend tactician. 4 arena skins that are available until April 2023 and 1 arena skin on a monthly rotation thereafter. Nice. Legends of Runeterra, all cards in the Foundation set. I don't really play Legends of Runeterra or really card games that much.
Yeah.
But I imagine getting all the cards in a single set is very good.
Yeah.
League of Legends Wild Rift, all 80-plus champions, day 1 access to every new champion as they're released, and a 20% XP boost. Awesome. Plus, players who link their Riot account and Xbox profile by January 1st, 2023 will also get a bonus reward in each game. You'll get a Pocket Sage Buddy on Valorant, a Masterwork Chest and Key on League of Legends, a Rare Egg on Teamfight Tactics, a random emote chest on Wild Rift, and a Prismatic Chest on Legends of Runeterra. Very nice.
Egg.
So do it before January 1st. The faster you do it, you get a little bonus.
I got to get a PC, Bandi.
Now, still sticking with Xbox and Microsoft, Phil Spencer, Xbox boss, has come out and says Sony wants to grow by, quote, making Xbox smaller. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has claimed that PlayStation's move to block Microsoft Activision Blizzard's acquisition is rooted in its desire to, quote, protect their dominance on console by making Xbox smaller.
Glad he sees that.
There's really only been one major opposer to the deal, and it's Sony, and Sony's trying to protect their dominance on console. I mean, some of y'all may even be asking, like, why are they even involved?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a deal between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. Why is Sony even a thing? Well, for huge, business mergers like this, a lot of the times outside people they'll contact competitors to see what they think about the merger as well. Sony obviously just kind of wanted to jump in and just go ahead and get a jump start on it.
Yeah.
So, they took their chance and they saw it. Excuse me, I had a little something in my nose. They have a very different view of the industry than we do. They don't ship their games day and date on PC, and they don't put their games in the subscription when they launch their games. But because Sony's leading all of the dialogue around why this deal shouldn't go through to protect their dominant position in console, the thing that they grab onto is Call of Duty. This is all from Phil Spencer. And we've said over and over that we'll make a multi-year 10-year commitment to PlayStation. The same deal that they gave Nintendo and Steam.
Yeah.
The same exact one.
Which they love, by the way.
Yeah. They're hopping on it. Gabe Newell, again, had no issues signing whatsoever. And guess what? There was even an additional thing where Call of Duty and Microsoft said they would put Call of Duty, they would allow them to put it on PlayStation Plus as well. The same as Game Pass.
That'd be awesome for both consoles. Everybody's happy.
And
Everybody
Sony
should be.
Still refused.
I'm not liking it. I don't want to hate Sony, and I've seen so many good things come from Sony, and now that they're doing this, like they're like acting like children. It's just making me upset, and it's making me want to just push them away a little bit more and actually push for Xbox to be the superior console. Because I've never really cared too much about it. I've always thought the Xbox 360 was the console I like to play. Yeah. PlayStation 3, it was a little lackluster. Some people said their things about it, and most people were on the Xbox side during that point. But even at that point in the console wars, PlayStation was still winning when it comes to the money that they were earning.
Yeah.
They had the PlayStation Portable, which was bringing a lot of money as well. They had the countless exclusives that were coming out on their consoles that they've yet to make any new ones, really. I mean, The Last of Us came out back in 2012 again?
2016, I think.
Well, was it? Because it was on PlayStation 3.
It was, man. Was it like 2013?
It was probably around when GTA 5 came out, all right?
Yeah, probably around then.
Because, that game came out on Xbox 360 first, and then it went over to Xbox One, and they added the first-person mode and all that stuff, which, fine, cool and that stuff. But still, they complain so much about it, and I know we've talked about this a lot. It is one of the biggest stories to talk about in the gaming world right now because it's ongoing for so long. We started it whenever the show started in the first place, early during the summertime or something.
Yeah, this is a $68.7 million deal.
It's not much.
No, actually, not even million. $68.7 billion.
Oh, there you go.
There deal. You go. But here's what's going on. You know how long this case has been going on for? The merger was announced in January.
Dang.
Of this year.
It's been a 2022 thing.
This has been going on for the entire year. We are in December. It is December 13th.
Yeah. We're
still talking about it. It still hasn't even fully gone through yet.
This year has flown by, though.
It really has flown by.
But still, if we're talking about it normally, it's still a whole year that they could have been able to finish this off. But Sony's been fighting so hard against it to make sure that doesn't happen. But everybody else is like, let's go. We chill. Let's do it. Put the game on iConsole. I don't care. Put it on the Stadia.
Well, it's like, how much clearer does Microsoft have to be? And look, typically I wouldn't trust kind of big company like corporate speak like this. Like, oh, we promised to do this and this.
Yeah.
But they have been so consistent and transparent with people about this.
Yeah.
And they have said, they've been completely consistent on their stance throughout the entire year, which is why I now have full faith in Microsoft in this deal. They haven't changed their stance at all.
Yeah.
And through that, they have acquired both Nintendo and Valve, within this deal. Call of Duty's coming back to Nintendo.
That's going to be wacky.
Think about that. The last time we got it was, Modern Warfare 3 on the Wii?
Yeah, probably.
Or something around those lines.
It was
probably.
one of those games during that era of the Call of Duty world.
Yeah, or maybe a handheld, somewhere out there. But that's about it. Now we're going to actually have full-fledged Call of Duty on Nintendo consoles. And my guess, because Nintendo hardware, I don't think the Switch can handle Modern Warfare 2. I don't think it can.
Not to its fullest extent, that is.
So my guess is either we're going to get a cloud version to start off, because that'd be the easiest way to have that game run effectively on limited hardware.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. It's a lot less stressful than the console if you're streaming the game rather than running it off the hardware itself.
Or why not? This is a good idea as well. Why not just make a separate game altogether for the console like they did with the PlayStation Portable, which was the PlayStation Vita at the time. And this is the stuff they used to do a lot. Okay, they used to make single games for just certain consoles, just what was it, the Big Red one? That came out on PlayStation 2 exclusively. None others. Yep. They used to do that stuff all the time. They can continue to do that now, and they can still make just as much money. Plus, Nintendo would be very grateful for them because they would have that game for the rest of the Switch's life.
Or, hear me out.
Okay, I'm hearing.
We're about to hit the magic number for Nintendo.
Okay.
That's number 6. The Nintendo Switch is about to be 6 years old. And typically after 6 years or within that time frame, that's when Nintendo shows off a new console.
Yeah.
So what if we don't even have Modern Warfare 2 on the Switch? Just kind of forget about it.
Okay.
Nintendo reveals their new console around, say, February or January or February or March of next year.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing a guess.
Spitball, yeah. This is highly doubtful.
I'm just spitballing a guess because the Switch came out March 3rd, 2017.
I can't believe it's already that old, though.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So we skip Modern Warfare 2. You make a new console that's a lot more high-powered and more up-to-date with, say, the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And put the new Call of Duty on that.
It's the way to do it. It's either make a new game, put a new game on a console that can actually run the game at a good frame rate, because I know that the Switch probably wouldn't. Although the Switch, I mean, it does a good job of what it does, and I can't believe they're already like going to new consoles. But again, we are, to the age where stuff happens a lot quicker, okay? We have a lot more years in our belt to know, like, oh, whenever a new console came out back in the day, we used to be like, it's already, like, that's been such a long time, and we finally got the new console. Whereas now, we're not even thinking about it. The consoles are just popping out every single second.
I mean, I'm on PC. I haven't even thought about a console for a while.
This man hasn't even thought about a console because he's playing the PC Master War.
Hey, it's not PC Master Race. We don't have everything yet.
Well, you got Game Pass, so that's pretty cool.
We do have Game Pass, and High on Life is currently installing on my PC, which I cannot wait to play when I get home later tonight.
Me and you both.
It's going to be a fun game. But you know what's also going to be a fun game when it gets patched?
What?
Overwatch 2. Because, look, I don't hate Overwatch 2 at all. In fact, I actually really thoroughly enjoy the gameplay.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy the 5v5 and just the flexibility I have when I'm playing. Like, when I'm playing when I'm playing support, I felt like in Overwatch 1 was by far the easiest role.
Yeah.
Like 2 tanks, 2 damage. You didn't really have much to worry about. And that you were actually pretty well protected. But now you're 1 tank down. You got to be a lot more concerned about where you're positioned, where you're firing, where everybody is on the enemy team. Like, you feel a lot more active when playing this game, and I enjoy it. I don't enjoy getting one-shot by Sojourn still. I don't enjoy Roadhog being meta. Definitely not.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't enjoy, well, Doomfist getting the biggest buff I've ever seen in Overwatch history. Because I don't know how in one patch, in one day, you turned him from the worst tank in the game to meta. Right up next to Roadhog.
The meta.
It's beyond me. But when Season 2 dropped, we were promised new content, new cosmetics, and a sweeping amount of changes coming to multiple heroes, including the likes of Sojourn, Kiriko, like the ones that were kind of running rampant. And I was excited. I was like, well, we're finally going to get, like, this is the big one. Like, new season, like, we're going to come through. This is going to be a huge patch. Like, game's going to fundamentally change. Like, the meta's going to shift. Like, we're going to see a new kind of thing. And to be granted, there were some changes that were good in the patch. Like, nerfing Kiriko's ult was definitely needed. Like, 50%, I believe it was like, 50% move speed and... No, it was 50% faster fire rate and 3 second shorter cooldown on... 3 second shorter cooldown on all your cooldowns. So you were just kind of going in, just absolutely crazy, mashing everything on your keyboard and doing a ton of damage.
Yeah.
That's been nerfed, thank goodness. I mean, that's what the meta revolved around. It was really what worked best with Kiriko's ult, and it was Lucio, Winston, Reaper, and Sojourn. Sojourn, though, inadvertently got buffed. Because it was like, okay, we're going to nerf her crit damage on her railgun shot. That's good. It now does 195. Here's the bad thing, though. It doesn't scale with Mercy Boost. Or actually, it does still scale with Mercy Damage Boost. That's the issue. Usually those kind of things still do their flat damage 195. With Damage Boost, you're still one-shotting 200 HP targets with Railgun. And on top of that, her ult got buffed. Which you charge it when you're in your overcharge, your overclock state.
Yeah.
Your railgun continuously charges up when you're firing, like it charges a lot faster. When you're in your ult, you now, when you shoot and do damage, you now charge it 20% faster. So now on average, you went from maybe 5 railgun shots in an ult to now you're doing about 7 to 8. So you're throwing out more railguns, which means you're probably getting more picks. And if you're getting more picks, you're doing your job correctly.
Yeah.
And if you're doing your job correctly, you're meta. Phew. I mean, I honestly don't know what they can do to change this character. I really don't, because unless they just fundamentally change how she works, having a projectile snare, this kind of railgun crit shot that can just one-shot squishies and one-shot supports.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a little salty about it as a support main. And without a doubt be the best, like, just flat out getting a pick DPS in the game and having some of the best mobility as well in her slide and slide jump. I really don't know how you can properly balance her without fundamentally reworking how she plays.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's possible. With Sombra, I used to think that was the same way, but they did nerf her hack. They did make it a little worse. But again, I kind of like how now she's just kind of, she's a good utility DPS.
Mm-hmm.
She sets others up to do the damage, which if you run Sombra Sojourn, God forbid you hack a Ryan who doesn't have a shield against a railgun. I mean, that's too focused down right there. I mean, Sombra's peppering him from the back with her SMG, who's now doing more damage because he's hacked, and then Sojourn's just priming her railgun on him, ready to one-shot. That's all it takes.
One kiss is all it takes. Sorry, you got me. You got that song stuck in my mind. This whole game, it's always been just a disaster to kind of fix, because there's that's what happens when you add so many characters. And I'm surprised League of Legends has been able to go on for so long, adding so many characters. And there's still, I mean, obviously,
I can talk about my own. I can talk about all the balancing nightmares that's happened with League over the years.
For sure, yeah, and they have the same problems, but it's like with Overwatch, they could have, done something different by doing this new game, and they could have fixed all of that and made something to where they didn't have to worry about it, but they didn't think hard enough to be like, hey, you know what, these new characters we might be putting out are probably going to ruin the game even more, so we're going to have even more work on our hands.
Like, honestly, I would have it so that her railgun does that kind of crit damage where one-shots like that.
Yeah.
Cuts off at 10 meters.
10 meters.
10 meters. Because they have it at 40 right now. And 40 is to the point where that's never in play except on, like, maybe Junkertown.
Yeah.
And, like, that's on that super long hallway, like, toward the end of the map.
Yeah.
But, or maybe Coliseo, probably Coliseo, too, like, when you start off, like, pushing the robot to
they can even cut it
past
half.
the first point. Yeah, like, you could just make it so that you could get rewarded for, like, maybe flanking around, getting in close, and one-shotting at point blank, almost like it acts like a shotgun.
Yeah. Just like a beam, though, a beam shotgun.
Yeah, and then using your mobility to get out. That could be one way to do it. And then the snare could be used to maybe entrap your enemies at close range, so that way they're staying still, kind of like a Mei ult, how you use it for her right-click. That's like an icicle pick.
Yeah.
You could do it like that, where it slows your enemies, and then you one-shot at close range, and then you get out. Instead of having you be able to do it from all the way across the map. Like, why is she better at picking off supports than Widowmaker?
Yeah.
And that's her whole thing.
Yeah, there's no point in having a Widowmaker or any sniper on your team if you have a Soldier one, because she can have that utility where she could switch back and forth from just a normal AR to a railgun that'll snipe people across the map unnecessarily.
God forbid you got a Widow Hanzo duo on your team. You're never gonna get any damage out. But there is one more thing. There's a port announced. Well, there are 2 ports announced at the Game Awards from PlayStation and PC. Last of Us Part 1 and Returnal.
Okay.
We haven't gotten the specs yet, like the spec requirements yet for Last of Us. We got it for Returnal. It's a little ridiculous. If you want to play this thing on PC, they are recommending at least 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Dang.
That's a lot.
Wow.
32 gigabytes.
I thought my computer was
That's what
holding
I've got
a lot.
in mind.
Mine is holding 16, and this is what I edit extremely long videos on.
Yeah, I mean, typically, like, recommended is 16, and, like, that's even for, like, high-end games like Elden Ring recommends 16.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, I wouldn't recommend running it if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM because, I mean, you do need a pretty high-powered beast to run that pretty well. Or just run it on console. And even, like, Microsoft Flight Simulator, which that's a lot more intensive than I thought it was.
Yeah, it is a humongous game.
But 32 gigabytes of RAM? What? That's the recommended. What, like, how much are you going to need to run this, like, on high end? You tell me I'm going to need to invest in another 32 gigabytes of RAM to play this, like, on max settings? I don't know if I can do that.
You gotta be in that top 1% to be playing this game.
That's a little much. I don't know if that works. 32 I thought was, like, on the upper echelon for me. But this is just the recommended. Either way, nerf Genji. And a little funny story, because you know how Game Pass has, like, they have, like, the how long to beat thing, like, in the game store page. Like, hey, if you're interested in this game, this is how long it takes to beat the main story, how long it takes to 100% it, like, all that. You've seen those little things?
Yeah.
So, someone pulled out League of Legends thing for that. Now, League of Legends doesn't have a main story. This is just an online MOBA. So apparently, this is how long it takes to beat the main story of League of Legends. 1,016 hours.
Jeez, what? I mean, like, I don't even understand what that's going off of.
I don't know either. But hey, if you want to get the main story plus the extras, 1,221 hours.
The heck are the extras?
I don't know. If you want to go the completionist route, how long do you think it's going to take to do the completionist route?
I'm going to say probably around 2,000 hours.
You're close.
2,200 hours.
2,489 hours.
Jeez, that's a lot of League of Legends to play nothing. You're not playing anything.
I wonder if this is like calculating how long it'll take for you to get to like Immortal or something.
Probably.
Or like Grandma, or like
yeah.
Or like I don't know. What am I thinking of?
Whatever
I know the league
rank
rank.
is.
Challenger. Yeah, to get the Challenger.
Top rank, and also you have all the heroes, and also you've gotten all the achievements and everything else. That's probably what it's going off of, but that is hilarious.
All styles, 1,439 hours. So, let's see. How many days would that be? So 2,489 hours. This is to complete League of Legends.
Divided by 24.
Divided by 24.
Math.
Roughly 103.7 days.
Jeez, that's more anime than I've watched.
Really?
I've watched like 80 days of anime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the thing I dedicated most of my life to.
I mean, I don't doubt some of those Challenger players have at least.
Oh yeah.
At least these, or like they're probably looking at these hours like that's chump change.
Oh, of course.
Like,
I mean,
what do you mean?
These guys do nothing but play League of Legends.
2,000 hours. I had that many in season 2. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean even John has like around 1,500 in CS:GO alone. So I mean,
dang,
I'm outing him right there. He's a loser. No, I'm joking. He's not.
Nah, he's not a loser. CS is a great game. But
it is.
We're gonna take a quick time out. When we come back, we're gonna wrap up the show. Wrap up the second hour. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
The safety oath. Repeat after me. I will safely bring safety to my facility and keep it safe. I will safely keep my people safe. I will put safety first in everything I do, and I will safely do so with Grainger. When you think safety, think Grainger. Grainger's got over 100,000 safety products to help keep our facility safe and our people safer. When it comes to safety, Grainger's got your back. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. Hit those notes, that's what I do. Hello everybody, welcome back. Final segment here in No Man's Land here on the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandy Man, Bailey Lowry.
Yes, sir.
Bandy, how has it been just jumping back into it? This is Tuesday. This isn't a Monday, all right? This is a Tuesday. Are your days a little off now? Or are you going to be off just all week long?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, because I had to wake up early. I had to get back into the swing of things. But
Yeah.
I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only a day off.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad.
Still, I mean, you had the Chad come in and stuff. And I think, me and
Y'all
Chad.
did well.
I think we had a good little show. We had a good little show. Chad knows what he's talking about. Man goes, he does what he needs to do. And so he was good he was a good pickup right there.
It was a good pickup.
Right there. A-class all the way through.
We got about, 3 minutes before the music hits?
Maybe less.
Maybe less.
So what you got over there?
I mean, I'm gonna be scrolling through the Twitter feed. What you got over there?
Oh man, I'm gonna be talking about a story that I had. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we can also say that Argentina absolutely wiped Croatia.
We can say that.
We're not gonna see the Croatia-Morocco final that I desperately wanted to see.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Bandy, but I mean.
Oh wait, no. I know what we can talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
Okay. We have new names and trophies for the NBA's major individual awards that got released. A little bit, I believe, earlier today.
I had no idea about that. Tell me no.
The MVP has been renamed to the Michael Jordan Trophy.
Okay.
Depoy, Defensive Player of the Year. Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy.
Okay.
Deserved.
When do they? First off, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off mid thought, but when do they know to change these? Why did they change them this time? They just did it.
I don't know.
They
just
wanted an update. Nobody knows these players. We got to do the Michael Jordan MVP award.
Rookie of the Year, the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy.
Okay.
I mean, the Rookie of the Year award was the old answer. Now it is the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy. The Sixth Man of the Year is now the John Havlicek Trophy. Most Improved, the George Mikan Trophy. I actually like that pick a lot.
Cool.
And New Clutch Player of the Year, the Jerry West Trophy.
Nice.
So I'm cool with that. I mean, I like those names.
I'm all for it.
I like the older generation.
Exactly. But guys, that is all we got for you today. It was a great episode. Tobias Wilborn joined us for a little bit to talk a little bit Auburn sports. We also went all the way through the NFL, through the gaming world, and through Mike Leach's passing. Rest in peace to a great. But hey, tomorrow we'll be out at Flow Trampoline Park, so make sure you guys show up 4 to 8 o'clock. Might go later if we have a little bit too much fun. Who knows? For me, for the Bandy Man, for the rest of the world listening, you guys have been listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry